So follow me, I'll be a river.
What's juicy? So today I'm here with another story time video, and today's story time is going to be about the time that I was sexually harassed in church. Yes, I was sexually harassed in church. I know you're probably like, girl, but that's the house of the Lord. Like, what? I know, right? That just proves that anybody could go to church, okay? So this story takes place when I was 14 years old. So this actually happened at the church that I attended. It's my dad's church. It was my dad's first year as pastor at the church. And when I got to the church, like, there was this man there who started to make me feel uncomfortable. Like, he would break his back to come speak to me, make sure he say hi. And he didn't attend church regularly. He was there probably like a couple of times a month, and that was it. And he wouldn't see him again, you know, for a minute. Like, he'll go a month without coming to church and then come back, you know, and he'll be there a couple of times a month and then he'll disappear again and come back. And I don't know, I always thought it was pretty weird. But he was coming to church and he was always like speaking to me, which is fine. And he's like, oh, you're so pretty. Like, he made sure every time he saw me to tell me that I was pretty. And I was like, oh, thank you, you know, like, and I didn't think much of it at the time, but I did feel like uneasy vibe from him. Like, I don't know, it was something that I didn't trust. I didn't want to be around this man. And he was literally, at the time, he was 34. He was the same age as my parents. And then he would start getting to the point where, oh, like, that's a nice dress. Like, I love the way it fits on you. And I'm just like, oh, you know, because I have big boobs. And I'm just like, oh, thank you. And it was just like so uneasy. And So basically, like, this was going on for months where he was just still telling me that I was beautiful. If I got a new dress, he was telling me he liked it. And he was just always like trying to talk to me. I just still, like I said, felt uncomfortable. And one day I was standing outside of the church and this lady comes to me like, oh, Raven, I have something for you guys. And I was like, okay, because, you know, when you're the pastor's family, people always want to give you like food or presents and, you know, stuff like that. So I went to her car with her. She parked on a different parking spot than parking lot that I did, because I parked in the first parking spot right there. She parked all the way on the other side of the church in that parking lot. So I walked over there with her to go get this food that she had. She had this big old tray of food. So I'm like, oh, thank you, you know. She's like, you're welcome. I hope you guys enjoy, blah, blah, blah. So I'm carrying the food back towards the car, and I run into this boy that I knew who had a crush on me. He was my age. And so I stood there for a second and I was talking to him. And at that time, that's when that man, he comes out of the church and he's just standing right there on the porch, just standing there, you know. And I saw him staring at me. He had a habit of staring at me too. And that was another reason that I felt like uneasy. And he was a deacon too at the church, okay? So, I just was talking to this guy, Antoine, and somebody called him. Antoine stayed where I was, but he was talking to someone, I think his aunt or something. And that's when the dude was like, oh, Raven, like, I love that outfit on you. You know, you're beautiful. You're really, no, I'm serious. You're beautiful. You're really, really gorgeous. And I'm like, thank you. You know, like, that time Antoine was done talking to whoever he was talking to, and he looked at me and he looked at old dude, and Antoine was like, oh, I'll walk you to the car. And I was like, okay. And so we just started walking off. And so we walk into my car and he tells me, that man is a creep. Like, he's crazy. And I was like, yeah, kind of figured. And so after that, we ended up having Thanksgiving dinner at our house, and it really pissed me off because I am the person that hates having parties at my house. I hate it. Honestly, guys, there's been ample amount of opportunities for me to have a house party because my parents were out of town, but did I have a party at my crib? Nope. Because I hate cleaning up after parties. So my parents had this Thanksgiving dinner at our house, and people from the church came and some of my family came. And so there was this girl who also attended the church. She was at the church longer than I was, and she's a little bit younger than me. So the conversation came up about old dude, and she was like, he's a pedophile. I said, okay, I am not crazy here. I am not. Because I'm thinking all along, like, it's just me. Like, I'm overthinking it. And yes, I felt uncomfortable, but I just never told my parents because, like, my dad was a new pastor and I just didn't want to draw unnecessary attention. Plus, with my dad being so young and a pastor, like, in Pontiac, Michigan, like, people was mad disrespectful and underestimated my dad because my dad was a young pastor. Like, for instance, my dad is a firefighter and he coaches basketball and football. And so people would talk mad shit about him. Like, it'd be other pastors that's in the area that would talk about him. So, like, this day, it was like a Thursday. One of the pastors decided last minute he wants to have a meeting on Thursday night at 7. So he sent a fax to the church. My dad is at work at the fire department, right? And my dad had no knowledge of this, last minute meeting. So at the meeting, one of the members at our church was there, and the pastor goes, see, he's irresponsible. He's just a young pastor. He don't know what he's doing. If he cared about his church and the community, he would be here. And I'm just looking like, oh no, this fool didn't. Because the lady who was at my church, well, the lady who was there who attended my church, she was at the meeting and she just felt so mad. She was so angry, and luckily she was recording the meeting for my dad to play, because like I said, my dad had no knowledge of this. He didn't find out until the next day when he had got to church in the morning and he saw the facts there. So the lady at our church was like highly pissed off, because this man is literally sitting here clowning my dad. And I'm just thinking to myself after I heard this story, like, first off, it is 2004, 2005, okay? How about picking up a phone and calling somebody? Sorry, life does not revolve around church 24/7. People have a life outside of church. Just because you're a pastor and you sit at home and you do nothing with your life all day doesn't mean that other people are not. Sorry, my dad is a huge person in the community, okay? He's like a mentor. People look up to him, and that's why I just didn't want to say anything, because I felt like this would be another reason that people come and they attack my dad. Like, what if this got out and they made news or headlines or something, Like, I didn't want that for my dad. The girl was telling me, like, he was a pedophile and that he basically ended up marrying a 14-year-old girl. The girl is older than me now. Like, she's older than me, like, probably like a few years older than me. I don't remember. But he was dating a 14-year-old. They ended up getting married. She ended up getting pregnant. He was very abusive. He was always like punching her and doing all types of stuff to her. And then he did end up going to jail and he got released. And then, they continued their relationship. She ended up getting pregnant again, had 2 children by this dude, okay? And again, he was very abusive towards her. And all of a sudden, this girl disappeared. Nobody's seen her ever since, like, ever again. So people made this assumption that this girl probably, like, ran away to escape from him. Me, just watching a whole bunch of Lifetime movies, like, this dude probably killed her. Like, she probably, like, locked in a basement somewhere, something, like, I'm just thinking about all this crazy stuff that this dude could have possibly done. But it all made sense to me. Like, I mean, I don't get, like, why this man still wasn't in jail, maybe because he, like, raped this girl, like, but at the time, like, she got back with him, like, after he got arrested, she was of age, Everything made sense to me. I'm just like, this man is crazy. Let me make sure I stay away from him. So next time I go to church and this man is at church and he comes up to me and again he's telling me I'm pretty or something like that, and I'm walking, he goes, oh, you have a nice walk, and I'm just like, and then this fool had the audacity to say, with your sexy self. And I looked like, the fuck is wrong with this fool? Like, okay, I have to say something now at this point because this is really going absolutely too far. So I went and I told my mom, and I said, Mom, you know, since we've been attending this church, he's been nothing but like making me feel uncomfortable. He's always talking about how pretty and how gorgeous I am, talking about how he liked my outfits, and now he's calling me sexy. And I just don't feel comfortable. And so my mom's like, oh, okay. Now my mom is overprotective, okay? My mom is from Detroit. This girl is legit crazy, okay? Now if you mess with my mama, or you mess with her children, she's coming for you, okay? She is coming for you. My mama is hood. People, literally, when people first meet my mom for the first time, they think she's mean. They think she's mean because my mom, bruh, this girl, she is mean. She's very, very mean, but she really don't play when it comes to her kids. All I know was, I think she told my dad, and after that, I never seen old dude in the church again. I did not see him on church grounds, on the property, nothing. I've never seen him ever since then. After I told my mom, nope. I guess they made sure he was gone. I think my mom told my dad, and my dad handled it. Everything was like quietly. Thank you, Jesus. But his children still attended the church. And that was it. Like, they attended the church for probably like another 2 or 3 years. And then eventually they just disappeared and they stopped coming to the church altogether. You would think people know better because it's the house of the Lord, but apparently not. Like, this dude is a sex offender. He needs to be arrested for rape. You probably forced that girl to sleep with him and get married. Yeah. So anyways, if you guys like this video, thumbs up. And also, if you experience a situation like sexual harassment or a similar situation, let me know in the comments. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.